right, welcome back to Teacher Quit Talk. We have a very, very exciting guest today. We have my former student, Paris, on the podcast today. So everyone be nice.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have Paris come on because, one, she is a literal genius that should be leading our country. But two, Paris has gone to a few different schools that were very, very different from each other. And me and her have talked about some of the differences in these schools. And I just felt like this was a very valuable perspective. And we've had people who were students at one point in their life on this podcast. But Paris was like, she is fresh out of there. She just graduated. So for anyone that wants to send me to prison for exploiting a child, she's an adult now. But
totally.
She was the class of 2025. So I think she has a lot of insight about our educational problems of our nation. So Paris, tell us a little bit about, like, where'd you go to elementary, middle, high school? Just tell us a little bit about your journey, like what schools you've gone to.
Okay, so, I went to two different elementary schools in sixth grade. That's where I got to experience my first-hand, like, difference into the school systems. I would say, like, the second semester of school, and it was a big difference. It was a big change for me. Like, I'm be honest, I'm used to being in classes where I'm around majority white people, Caucasian
Don't censor
people.
yourself. You can say whatever you want. Like, give us the full truth.
Please.
We'll edit this back in there, but for context, there's two different main school systems you've been in. One of them, for anyone for anyone that doesn't know about school systems, one of the school systems you went to is a very large county, big population, big schools, lot going on. The other one you went to is a very, very local, small schools, a lot of local control, a lot of parent involvement. So you said one of the main differences you noticed was in, like, the race between the two schools. So, like, what else did you notice? What stood out to you about the differences between the two systems?
It's funny enough, the teachers were the main thing that stood out to me a lot too, because I was in a classroom with at least 35 to almost like 35 kids at most, so like it was really no such thing as 101 time, because it's like so many students. It was more so like, oh, you're out my class, on to the next teacher, like the next teacher's problem. That's how I don't want to sound like that, because it's not all teachers, but a lot of the teachers that I've had over the years, that's how a lot of it was. Like, I had a lot of teachers that I really do love, and
we're not here to talk about them. Give us. So you felt like the city schools just kind of wanted to get the kids in and out, and they cared more about, like, the finances of how much money a kid was bringing in, as opposed to the county-wide schools. You felt like it was a little more, like, egalitarian, like it was a little more fair, and teachers, like, cared more, as opposed to the higher income city school. You felt like they just kind of wanted to get everyone in and out.
Yes. So I've seen teachers where when we were a winning football team, they would turn a blind eye to certain students. That's how it was when it came down to students with money. Like, if you had money, they turned the blind eye to you. You can turn in assignments a few weeks behind deadline. You can get extra help after school. Like, that's a lot of things I've noticed. Like, even when it came down to administration in the two schools systems, I've seen drastic, when I say it's a big difference in between the administration. Like, let me just put it like this. I went to for years, and no administration ever decided to ask me my name. Going to everybody knew my name.
Yeah,
like,
everyone did know.
Like, people that never taught me knew my name. Like, just to take the decency out your day to ask a kid how they're doing. Like, that's the stuff that I seen differences in the schools. Like, it was a real big difference. I hate to say, as much as is not funded, I wish they were as funded as, because they would thrive just as well. Like, how we're funded in the art programs. Like, that's one thing that I've seen difference, like the programs in different schools. Like, we had culinary here. We had, like, criminal justice clubs here. Like, we didn't have that at, like, if we had the opportunity that has like the things, or just like I said, the funding, I feel that could be a better school system, like as a whole. It just, I feel that we also have a lot of corrupted, I don't know if I can say that.
No, you can literally say whatever you want. Before you get into the corruption, which I very much want to hear about, what were some of the differences you noticed? You said the funding between the city school and the county school. So, like, what were some things you had at the city school that you didn't have at the county school? Like, what kind of stuff or supplies? Or I know you'd mentioned to me before technology. Like, what were some of the differences where you saw that the city schools were getting more money and better funding?
When I say technology, we used to have our own iPads in every class. And when I say iPads, I'm not talking about like Amazon tablets. I'm talking about full-blown Apple products. Every computer, we had computer labs. Like we had two different, like we had a library and we also had a computer lab where it was strictly specifically for computers, like MacBooks everywhere, like versus we get Chromebooks, we get, like we don't get Apple products. Like that's when I say funded, like we had whiteboards, like we have projectors, like top notch projectors. Like we don't work off of whiteboards anymore like that. Like when I say top notch projectors, like movie theater type projectors. Like speaking of movie like theaters, we have drama club, we have full blown auditoriums. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if the funding was there, like it would be a drastic change. Like we barely have Chromebooks to supply. Well, what I seen from last year, everybody couldn't get a Chromebook because we didn't have any Chromebooks to give out. Like we had to provide the people with who needed the Chromebooks the most.
And y'all would pass around those Chromebooks. Like you guys would find a friend that had one and it'd be like, I have it first period, you got it second period.
That's like when I say underfunded, like we all had our own assigned computers. Like everything was assigned to us and we had access to it whenever we wanted it. Like that's the big difference. Like, and also I will say in security, like the big difference in security at our schools and their schools, they're just now implicating metal detectors. I don't know if y'all have heard, they're just now implicating metal detectors and security guards in their schools now of this year at city. And I feel like that's a big difference. I get that we're in I won't say that we're in the best neighborhoods, but like I will say it was a big difference in security. Here, it's a lot of bullying that goes unheard of. Like it's a lot of stuff that they sweep under the rug with money. Like money runs the city schools over here. Like if you, like I said in the beginning, if you really don't have money, this school system isn't really for you, in my opinion. Like it has good benefits, yes, but that's only when you have money.
And I think it's important, and this is part of why I wanted to have you on the podcast and give us the student perspective, because I think a lot of adults, they see that the city schools have a nicer building, a nicer computer, and they just assume it's going to be a better experience because of those things, but that's really not going to be the case for everyone. Like you said, a nice computer doesn't guarantee a teacher is going to treat you fairly. Your class size is going to be able to give you like hands-on help and things like that. What were you going to say about like the corruption for either the city or the county schools? Because one thing about Paris, she is in the know. Like Paris would be delivering me news. Like Paris would come in my room and be like, we're going to have a fire drill tomorrow. And I was like, okay, and she would be right. So like tell us everything you know. You don't have to name names, but
got you. I will say from firsthand experience, I'm going to talk about firsthand experience in both, but I'm going to start with city schools because that was the one that gave me the worst experience of them all. They're very corrupt. Basically, so in my 7th grade year, I actually did attend for a little bit, but they kicked me out of their school. And and it's a funny story. They kicked me out of the school and I wasn't even present in the meeting of them kicking me out of school. Like, you know how you get a hearing about to see whether or not you're being expelled or not out of the building, or whatever they want to call it.
There's supposed to be a little process.
Yeah, it's a little process to it. And they expelled me without me being present, and they basically said they had a statement from me. Mind you, Miss, I am left-handed. If that you know,
Yes.
I am 100% left-handed. I broke my hand and had a cast on. So like I broke my left hand, meaning I can't write with my left hand because like it's in a cast. And they said that they had a statement and they expelled me from school, literally like the last 2 weeks of school. And so that was literally the drawing point for me. I felt like that was the most corrupt I've ever seen. And it's a lot of stuff that, like, I don't want to say no names, but the principal of middle school is not the principal anymore because it was a sexual assault. It was a girl that was touched by boys at the school, and the girl went to them. He never said anything or disciplinary action, and her parents took it to the district, and he ended up getting fired. That is the reason why the old principal is not the principal of the middle school anymore. It's a lot of stuff that goes on that people just don't see or go on the news because like it's so much stuff that happens like it was a shooting that happened in the parking lot while school was in session. And I want to question, did anybody hear that on the news? Now, when that situation with us rioting, did that go on the news? They made sure to put that on the news. They made sure headline us on the news. But a situation where kids' lives were put at risk, nothing went on the news. When it was I think it was last year if I'm not mistaken. Well, 2 years ago, it was a teacher. He said the N-word. He was calling kids monkeys. Like it went. Just put it like this: the assistant principal isn't the assistant principal at the high school anymore because it wasn't the first time he said it. It just took it where somebody ended up recording him on a video, and they protested. Like when you get kids involved, you get parents involved, and parents with money make action. They take action, meaning they had this man resign the next day, like whole classroom cleared out, everything. That's why I say it takes money. Like when our assistant principal, when that situation happened, if we had parents that were involved, active, it would have been probably a different outcome. And that's where I'm coming with county corruption. Last year, when our assistant principal, she was unnecessarily terminated.
I'll correct you a little bit because technically she wasn't terminated. The situation was our principal had stepped down. She was the interim principal. She was interviewing to become the principal. And instead of either making her the principal or keeping her as assistant principal, they moved her into an office job at the district. So technically she wasn't terminated, but like, girl, might as well be.
Come to find out, they did not offer her a position.
See, you know more than me. Like,
I found that out. I don't want to say her name, but you know the teacher that I'm my road dog. She informed me that they didn't offer her a job. They told her that she can't even come on the property to even say goodbye.
I didn't know that.
Felt that was very, very wrong on everybody's behalf because that lady has been with everybody. Like, it's a difference. Like, at our school, it's a relationship thing. Like, kids gotta build a relationship with you. Miss knows that very well.
Yes.
It's not a school that it's a community. Like, it's like a family. Like, we're like one big family. And like, when one family member leaves, it's like a heartbreak. And then you just bring in a distant cousin that you've never met. Like, you're going to be confused. You're going to be interested. And so that's why I say you have to build a relationship. And I don't want to say it, like our current principal at the school, he is very dictator. It's giving dictator vibes. It's really giving dictator vibes. Like the way he tries to control our school, like I just don't feel that it's okay. And it's a lot of stuff that happens in the district, like
from situations that have happened at schools you've been at when county or district people come to the school, how does that usually go? Do you feel like they are a part of the community and they make things better when they come, or no?
No, I feel that when they come to the school, it actually kind of gets worse. Every time he has stepped foot into our school building, it's always something happening. Like, it's because they come in and, like, they're already looking down at us based off of, like, the history of our school. Like, I be honest, they look down at us. So, you know, like, and they come in and they try to, like, dictate things, like try to disrupt the flow of the school. And I don't feel that that's okay, because like kids thrive off of a routine. Like, they know they got to do this, that, and that. And so, like, I feel like they thrive better when they're, I don't, how can I say this? Like the kids the kids at my school specifically, like, they don't really thrive great with changes, like sudden change. Sudden change is like very bad, like, in my opinion. Like, when I say our superintendent makes things very worse, like, we had kids that passed away a couple of years, like back-to-back years. Like 2 years ago, 2 kids passed away in 2 years time span at our school. And our superintendent was just very nonchalant about the situation. We wanted to release balloons. Like, he made us go through so much to just release some balloons. Like, that's just going to harm people. That's going to, that's going to cause harm, havoc at the school. Like, that's going to cause people to fight. Like, if anything, I feel like they were driving the peaceful things away from school. Like, they were making school like very like hostile. Like, it was when they were in the building, everybody was just upset all the time. Like, people running around with their heads cut off, teachers. Like, I'm be honest, like, it felt very like, it felt like a hostile community. Like, it felt different. Like, when the superintendent is there, like, people are running around hallways acting like they're doing work. Like, teachers that you've never seen go to the printer and printed papers for some reason. Like, it's very different. Like,
and what were some of the things that happened? So, like, we'll spare people the details of why there was an altercation this day. But when there was not an altercation, we'll spare people the details of why there was a very large student-led peaceful protest. Just know that the children had very valid reasons for their protest. How did district personnel handle that protest? Did you feel they handled that well?
No, they handled it, and they treated us like we were criminals. They literally were threatening us with pepper spray. Like we're just criminals that are going to harm them. Like, we're just marching the Capitol. Like, they made it seem like we were storming the Capitol. Like, they brought police officers. And when I say police officers, I'm not talking about like the school police. Like, those are top flight security. We're talking about the real county police. Like, they treated us like criminals that day. Like, I felt like I couldn't protest peacefully. Like, in my opinion, I felt like they were taking my First Amendment from me. Like, it wasn't like we were throwing things, acting violent, beating on things, destroying property or anything like that. We were just wanting our voices to be heard. Like, that's all we were asking to communicate. Like, you just can't make a sudden change and expect people not to retaliate to things. So I just felt that it was it felt very weird, because it's just, like I said, if we felt like criminals that day. Like, they wouldn't even talk to us. Like, they're like, oh, y'all are kids, we don't have to talk to you guys. Like, we don't have to explain anything to you guys. Like, we just want an explanation. Can we at least get a goodbye? Like,
yeah,
that's all we were asking for really that day. Just an explanation and a goodbye. Like, they wouldn't even give us that. So it was just very bad.
And that was the part of that situation that I found really upsetting, is like the way they told the teachers I didn't think was awesome, but it wasn't horrible, I guess. Like, they told us in the morning before school, but I felt like if we, instead of just starting the day as a normal school day, if we had had an assembly and they let our old interim principal make the announcement, I think that day would have gone very, very differently and not ended with many of you all being locked in the gym. Which is generally, for any admin listening, if your students are peacefully protesting, locking them in a room is not considered a de-escalation practice, one would say.
Not a best practice at all.
One other thing that I am wondering from you, Paris, though, is one thing that I've been talking a fair amount recently is about like consequences in school and discipline in school. Do you have any examples of times that you felt like there was good discipline, there was effective consequences, and like what have you seen in that realm? What have you seen that was good or bad or did work, did not work? Because I imagine you do not enjoy when we would be on lockdown for like hours because kids were getting into fights. So I'm curious to hear your perspective about that.
Really, the only time I've seen consequences, honestly, is at the county schools. City, they really, all you get is a suspension, but what you get suspended for is the slightest of things. Like, I've been suspended for wearing a yellow bandana on my head because my hair was messed up, and they told me I was quote unquote gang banging.
Not even gang affiliated, but gang banging. Like not even like, hey, you might not know, but you shouldn't wear that. But they said, how old were you when they said this?
This is literally in 7th grade.
Oh my God.
Now, this is what they did. It's crazy. Why they're signing my suspension, why they're telling me how many days, they proceed to pull up the gang that's affiliated with yellow bandanas and say, see, this is what I mean. Like, we don't want to corrupt the other students. If you're doing that, do that outside of the school building if possible. Like, they're full-blown telling me how to,
my God. I Googled it at the same time that you said it. There is a Grand Theft Auto gang that wears yellow. There is the Yellow Henry gang in New Orleans in the 1870s. And
oh my
Latin
God.
Kings, allegedly.
What gets me is that you were 12 or 13 maybe. So instead of being like I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. If they were truly stupid enough to think that you were legitimately in a gang as a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old girl, why was their approach, hey, do that off campus, and not like, hey, do you want to talk to a counselor? Like, let's try and get you out of this high-speed life.
Like that's how they know they're
life.
full of shit. Nobody ever talked to me about my gang tattoo.
She got this tattoo and didn't know that it's a gang symbol. She just got it for Christianity reasons.
Paris, I Googled little tiny cross with sunbeams, and that does not bring up the results that you need if you have a Chicano gang tattoo on your hand.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Whoops. Anyways,
I want to know the story how you found out. Like, that was a symbol off camera.
I posted on the internet and they told me. They were like, sweet summer child.
Okay. Back to subject.
Back to
but like I was saying, I really didn't really see any disciplinary action. It's crazy why they're signing my suspension, why they're telling me how many days. They proceed to pull up the gang that's affiliated with yellow bandanas and say, see, this is what I mean. Like, we don't want to corrupt the other students. If you're doing that, do that outside of the school building if possible. Like, they're full-blown telling me how to,
my God. I Googled it at the same time that you said it. There is a Grand Theft Auto gang that wears yellow. There is the Yellow Henry gang in New Orleans in the 1870s. And
oh my
Latin
God.
Kings, allegedly.
What gets me is that you were 12 or 13 maybe. So instead of being like I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. If they were truly stupid enough to think that you were legitimately in a gang as a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old girl. Why was their approach, hey, do that off campus, and not like, hey, do you want to talk to a counselor? Like, let's try and get you out of this high speed life.
Like
That's how they know
fix
you
your
know they're full
life.
of shit. Nobody ever talked to me about my gang tattoo.
She got this tattoo and didn't know that it's a gang symbol. She just got it for Christianity reasons.
Paris, I googled little tiny cross with sunbeams, and that does not bring up the results that you need if you have a Chicano gang tattoo on your hand.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Whoops. Anyways,
I want to know the story how you found out. Like that was a symbol off camera.
I posted on the internet, and they told me. They were like, "Sweet summer child."
Okay. Back to subject.
Back to
But like I was saying, I really didn't really see any disciplinary action indicator. If anything, you were just getting suspended for the slightest. I've seen a lot of like discipline and unnecessary discipline, but not enough discipline at the same time. Like they were punishing, like if kids got into a fight, they would punish the whole school building for something that happened in the corner of the school building. I feel that everybody shouldn't be on lockdown because somebody decides to take somebody's stuff. Like, and the fact that they were fighting over the slightest, Miss, can I say, you said I can just be blunt, right?
You.
Okay.
Be you.
The fact that these kids, and you knew these kids were fighting over vapes is the most outrageous part of the outrageous part of them all, that they would know these kids are literally in here fighting over vapes. And they'll put the whole school on lockdown, like for the slightest things, like a criminal, because they used to bring the dogs in there, having the dogs sniff us. Like this was just like very criminal act. And I've been in one of the classes that they have pulled out with the dogs, like them dogs, and they and the people who's holding them, they have they don't care that we're kids. Like dogs are slobbering all over people. Like when I tell you, I was scared. Like I was.
They brought dogs to your school?
This happens not all the time, but like it's enough. Like it's not daily, but it's not rare.
Not.
No, what
I
the
mean,
fuck?
It's not
and, like,
not normal.
The first time I saw that, where they literally just take a whole classroom of kids out, because I'm not saying it's ever okay, but it's one thing if it's like we think this specific person has something. They would just take every single kid out of the room. And I remember it was my planning period the first time it happened. So I was just walking down the hall, making my little copies. And then I see like a line of like 30 kids against the lockers, and the dogs are
They're
like
the drug dogs.
Yeah, they're like,
I thought they were the like the fighting dogs.
No,
like,
but that's what they act like. They would literally be like barking and like lunging off the leash, like at.
I mean,
kids.
sorry, Paris.
And there's a lot of kids that, I'm gonna be honest, this is not no kid. This is 2025. A lot of kids do smoke marijuana. This is very common in all high schools.
Yeah, we had drug dogs come to our school all the time because we were all smoking weed, and that was in like the 2000s.
I think maybe yours were better trained than ours.
Well, the difference is they didn't
like
let us in
juiced
the
up
hallway.
dogs.
They had we were in the rooms. They locked all the doors, and they would have the dogs search our lockers.
Oh no!
Versus
that's not.
We don't
like
get
lining
lockers.
kids up on the sides of the walls and having the dogs sniff them is crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And the way the dog lets them know, it's not like how the TSA dogs, they'll just sit next to you like that. They'll full blown inject you like, oh yeah, you got this. I'm gonna find it. Like,
Oh my
I'm gonna rip it
God.
off you. Like, whatever you got, I'm gonna take it. Like,
Fucking
that's
crazy.
how these dogs are like juiced up to 1,000. Like, honestly.
Ew.
And that's one thing I also wanted to hear your perspective on is what I have really noticed, and not just in our school, but in other schools as well, is that like when you treat people or teenagers or anybody like a criminal, that's how they are going to act. Like if you
100%.
treat people that way, they are going to be upset and act with aggression and things like that.
Yes.
So what else have you seen that you felt like was unwarranted behavior towards y'all? Because people treat teenagers horribly, y'all, if you didn't know.
Literally horribly.
I feel like Well, I feel like the way that our principal was able to change our time of being in school, how does that even work? Did he go through the district with that? Like, how does that, how,
Wait, you
4 minutes, 4 minutes,
oh, you mean at the beginning of the day?
yes, like, I don't
Okay,
understand.
so what happened? Yeah, you're right. So what happened there? Technically, our school day has always been 8 a.m. to 3:10 in the afternoon. He can't change that, but what he did do is he changed it from like first period used to start at 8:10 and now it starts at 8:06. So it gave them less time to like grab their breakfast and like use the bathroom and get into class when they get off the bus.
Also, speaking of bathrooms, that is also, oh my God.
Let's talk about it.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Please enlighten the public about the restroom policies you've experienced. You've experienced a lot of different ones.
Just put it like this, when I walk into school, I am walking into his personal prison. Like, this man literally has it where you cannot, first and third period, you can go to the bathroom it's like, so 2020, so obviously we have a 2020 rule, like you can't be out first 20 minutes, can't be out the last 20 minutes. So we have that first and third period. So you can only go to the bathroom first and third. You cannot receive no bathroom pass during second or fourth period. And I was luckily looked up and had teachers that was like, if you leave, that's on you. You know, you had an emergency. They can't really stop you. But like, they literally had it where we could not use the bathroom from second and fourth period. Like, I don't understand that. And that's the period after lunch.
Yeah. What I didn't like is how they lock the bathroom doors. Like, to me, it feels very illegal to have like 1,000 children in a building with every bathroom locked.
Yeah, I felt that was also a problem. Like I said, I was glad and luckily I knew everybody. I knew all the security guards. So it was like, it really wasn't a problem for me to get doors unlocked. But I have watched kids have to go up there to the principal's office and ask him, hey, can I use a bathroom because I got to use it in it's second period or it's fourth period. Like, that shouldn't even be a thing. Like, that is.
And what upsets me as a teacher is like, if it's a time that y'all are allowed to use the bathroom, I would say 80% of the kids are pretty quick about it. Like, they'll take the pass, they'll go to the restroom, they'll come back. But sometimes when you guys would have to go on like a hunt to find someone to open the bathroom for you, now you're missing 20, 30 minutes of class time because you're just walking all around trying to have someone let you in so you can go pee, which kind of defeats the whole purpose of the bathroom rules in the first place.
Yeah. I don't understand that because they're never there when it's actually time to use the bathroom. Like, where were they at? They were never. I'm be honest. The security guards was never stopping fights. I'll be honest. I could have been a security guard. Like, it was teachers. That's where I want to say, like, I felt that a lot of people. Could I speak on like teachers who I felt didn't do their job correctly?
Yeah, absolutely. We won't put their name in, but you can absolutely give us examples of teachers that you felt like did not do their jobs.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, it was quite a lot of security guards that they hired. And I felt that when it came down to them actually doing their jobs, they were actually nowhere to be found. It's times where it's been big brawls where it's 4 or 5 kids fighting at one time. It's teachers having to step in. Mind you, y'all guys don't get paid to break. That's not even in y'all job description to break up a fight. So therefore, I felt like that was like where they should been there, they weren't. And it was times where kids have really got injured, hurt very bad because they were too late or they didn't want to be bothered or, oh, they gonna let them fight, they'll get tired soon. Like, it was stuff like that I felt that if they were there, stuff could have stopped. Like, it could have been prevented.
Well, I need to tell one of my absolute favorite stories about you. So this was a while ago. There was one day, I think this was after you were in my class, but you were still a junior. You came in my room to help someone with their work or something. And I was like, what are you doing? And you told me that I think it was maybe your brother or a cousin or someone at your house said they thought they left the oven on. So
Yes.
You knew your dog was home alone with the oven on, and so you literally hustled around school to make money to get an Uber ride home to go turn the oven off. So you were walking around as to not get anyone in trouble. I'll say you were being compensated for helping your peers. You were helping those peers a lot with their work and literally spent like 2 hours running around school trying to make enough money to get an Uber home to try and... Was the oven even on?
No. Your words. I was so mad. I was like, oh my God, I left school. I told my brother, I was like, I don't think you understand what I did to get home to my dogs. It wasn't even about my brother. I was like, okay, and like, whatever. It was my dogs. I was so sad. Like, I was crying. I literally cried to our administrators, and I was like, you have to let me walk out this building because my dogs are going to burn up. And you know what she told me? She was like, well, do you have any other family or somebody near? Like, that's my dogs. That's family right there. Like,
when I saw that day, I was like, as an employee of this school, obviously I do not condone this, but as a human being, I recognize the problem solving and passion in this moment. That was so impressive to me that you figured that out on your own within a couple hours.
I don't think you understand how many assignments I had to finish. Like, I was doing people's assignments in 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, this is just work. Give me 2 minutes. Like, Miss, I was hustling your students so bad. Like, I'm glad
I would
they
just
passed
see you
your
like
class.
pop in the window, and I was like, "What's happening?" I was like, "Why do you keep coming here?"
Yeah. It was a problem.
Back, not to get distracted and come back, but that's what I'm about to do. I also want to know, in regards to standardized testing, one thing we have talked about a lot on this podcast is over the last 20 years, the amount of time per day that is dedicated to testing has gone up. So like these numbers are not 100% accurate, but this is just a rough memory. Like 30 years ago, kids spent 2 to 5 days a year testing. Today, it's like 20 to 30 days a year testing. So what are your thoughts about that in regards to like the testing, the time? Do you think it's like a worthwhile use of time?
I really actually don't. Only because, like, in my opinion, for me, I feel that we only really need tests. Like, well, I don't know. I just don't feel that it's necessary to have this many tests because that's taken away from actually learning what we're supposed to be testing on. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, that's taking time. As soon as we learn a subject, oh, we gotta take a test on it. You know, like, we're not even given time to actually really think, learn, and go in depth about these topics, and we're already taking tests on it. Mm-hmm. I feel that, in my opinion, they're unnecessary. Like, I feel like pre-test, yes, because that they want to see, like, in the beginning of, like, when you're first entering a class, like, that's very necessary because that's telling your teacher, okay, where are you at on the learning spectrum? Like, where are you at compared to your other classmates? You know, I feel like those tests are necessary. Like, but I don't feel that them random tests that we just out the blue that the county calls themselves giving us, I just don't feel that those are necessary because that's not what we are learning. Like, I'm from, like, my personal experience, when I was in my Brit Lit class, we were taking a random test every 2 weeks on what the AP class are testing, but that's what the county assigned for our teacher to test us on. And like, we don't know this stuff. We're not being taught this type of, what we're supposed to be testing on. So I felt like those type of tests are very much unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like, you brought up a good point of like when the county says to do something, do you feel like schools would improve if we gave teachers more control? Because like you said, some teachers are only there for a check. So what's your thought of like the balance of power between like teacher versus county? What do you think?
I feel that when the county said jump, they expect the teachers to say how high and where. I feel that the county has too much control over like what goes on in the school buildings, only because in my opinion, the county isn't actually there on a day-to-day basis. Like, they're actually not in our school building, like actually, they're not there, so they don't actually know what goes on. So I feel like the teachers should be able to have the power they need to assess things the way they need to assess it. Like if they feel that they don't need to take this test right now, I feel that they shouldn't be told, oh, you have to take this test, this is mandatory, it's a county-wide. I don't believe that's fair on teachers, because that's stopping your actual time to teach these students what they need to learn in your class to take a random test. So,
and though I can attest, the worst feeling in the world to me is giving kids a test I know they're going to fail. Like giving them a test when I'm like, I know that you do not know that stuff 100%. You said something earlier about like you wish that in school we had more time to like go in depth on things rather than just like keeping it pushing and taking tests on it. Do you feel like it would be better if we actually taught you guys less stuff but went slower? Do you feel like kids would end up learning more that way?
yes, I totally feel that way. Only because, like I said, it gives kids more time to actually process what they're learning, actually actually receive what they're learning. Like you're teaching a kid 1 week one subject and turning around next week onto a whole another subject. So like it's not giving the kid time to like actually process what they're learning, but they're learning they're probably retaining half of what you actually told them. So I feel like if you go in depth, kids will retain most of everything they're taught.
And as a very recent graduate, do you feel like you and your peers upon graduation, do you feel like everyone was good enough with like reading and writing and math to go on to the next step? Like, do you feel like at graduation, it was like, you made it, you know stuff, you're good?
No.
Elaborate.
No. It was a lot of kids that I know personally. Like I've seen like where they literally, like I said, they pass kids along. Like, and I'm not even gonna say teachers. I felt that a lot of kids, and this is a topic that I really want to touch on.
Yes.
The teacher and kid relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I noticed that I felt really uncomfortable about a lot of situations that was going on, but I felt that a lot of teachers were intervening with other teachers because based off of their relationship with a student, they were able to go in their teacher's class and get stuff that they shouldn't even have authorization to do. So I feel that it was a lot of kids that were just passed along. Like I've seen too many students in the hallways every day, and somehow they had a captain gown the same as well as I did. Like I was just genuinely surprised about the amount of students that I've seen and I know were struggling that was able to walk across the stage. Not saying that they shouldn't have or anything like that, not taking that from them, but I'm saying that I felt that they weren't on a level of development to graduate yet. Like I felt that they have a lot to develop.
Yeah.
And them pushing, and I feel like the school pushing the kids out into the real world and them not being fully developed on the educational side, I feel like that's not, that's not leading to anything right there. Like that's just leading to another, like I hate to say statistic, because they don't have the educational part of growing up. They're still stuck on being a kid. And I just felt that a lot of kids were just there to be there.
Yeah. And I think I agree with you of what you're saying. It's not like, oh, you shouldn't graduate because you don't deserve it or something like that. But at least from my perspective, it feels kind of irresponsible to see kids that I know are reading and writing on an elementary level. And then now we're just being like, yep, you're ready for adulthood. And I'm curious from your perspective, if I were in your shoes and seeing how hard you've worked, I would feel a little bit of a way seeing someone that, like you said, has been in the hallway every day for 4 years on that stage with you guys. Does that make you like feel a certain way or no?
I mean, I do kind of feel like, dang, if I took that same approach, I could have still walked too. Like it makes me judge the situation as if, okay, like I put so much work in, so much time to get to where I'm at this point in my life, and these kids lollygagged their whole 4 years of high school and they got to be in the same position as me. I just didn't feel that. I kind of felt like I was like upset about it. Like, but it's like, how can I say this? I don't want to seem like it's not my life or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's more so like I know that these kids aren't ready. Like I know these kids aren't ready for the real world or being an adult yet on that level.
Yeah. That's understandable. Is there anything else you want to share with the people? Any other insights about schools you have? Any other stories you want to tell?
Not really. We really touched bases on everything I really wanted to talk about.
I'm so happy you came on here because you had asked me like a long time ago. You were like, I want to come on. And I was like, that's illegal. So in a couple of years you can. And now we're here.
Literally, we were just talking about this, like, 10th grade year? That was like, yeah, 10th grade.
Or it was the beginning, or you had me at the beginning of your 11th grade year. So right when you finished 10th grade is when we met.
Right when I finished, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was the best. This was like one of the best teachers ever. Like, I don't think y'all understand. We had so many good conversations. Like, she's low-key the reason why I'm actually going to school now. Like, she is, like, I was talking to her. She was like, okay, are you going to school? And I was like, no, not really. And she was like, why not? Go for it. And I was
because you're a literal genius. Like, I literally think you're going to lead the United States one day.
And it's crazy. You've been saying this ever since I've met you. Like,
do you hear me say that to other kids?
No.
Yeah, because like I'm not gonna lie to you. And one other story about Paris I want to tell you all. If you guys remember, a while ago I was posting on my story about how I had no air conditioning for weeks. Paris got on YouTube and looked up the HVAC system we had, and she begged our principal to let her on the roof so that she could fix it. And our principal would not let her go up there, understandably so. And when I tell you Paris's commitment to try and get this fixed was more than anyone I saw. And eventually
also called the district.
Yes, and she started calling the district regularly.
Literally, I had typed me out a good little thing, like a good little message to say. And I was coming with facts, and I was like, our rooms are reaching the temperatures of 86 degrees in here. This is not safe for kids to be in here. The kids cannot think why hot. That's just not. It's no facts proving that kids can actually learn while hot. So it was so fun.
And tell the people what you're doing for school. I'm so excited for you. Where are you leaving? You're going in a couple days.
I am going to university. Well, can I say to college?
Yeah, go for it. Okay, if you want to.
I'm going to University of Northwestern Ohio for HVAC technician. I told Miss if they don't fix it, I would have came back down here and fixed her air conditioning myself. Like, I'm just, I can't believe.
Thankfully, they fixed it, but I will be calling you if it breaks again.
I will be here. Like, I don't think y'all understand. Miss is the best teacher ever. And if y'all ever took her class and y'all feel the same way, y'all need to text her on TikTok. Get at her. Let her know that she's the best teacher ever. Like, I don't understand.
Thank you.
You need to bless other students. I wish you would leave the school and go to another school so you can, like, people could experience. You gotta venture away. Like, I mean, go to different schools.
I'm thinking about it. I definitely am going to stay there the rest of this year, but we'll see. We'll see where I go. Because I also have really only taught in schools that are pretty close to a city or very in a city. Like, my old school was downtown Miami. And so I kind of want to try and teach at like a rural school, like somewhere like the kids like live far apart from each other. I kind of just want to try a different vibe someday. But I'm very, very grateful you came on the podcast. I'm excited to see how this episode turns out. And well, maybe in a year or so we'll have you back again and you can tell us about college and give us your thoughts on there.
Look, we can talk about all the experiences I had in school, literally.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here, Paris. Thank you, Teacher Quit Talk people. Another great episode. Live laughing, loving. Wow.